when a woman regularly watches porn and then she goes to be intimate with her husband in the future, she will actually expect her husband to be just like these men, these weird, crazy men that she sees in porn. She will kind of expect her husband to be like these fictional men that she reads in these romance novels. In case it's not obvious, I'm actually going to be explaining what is wrong with women watching porn, what actually happens to women as a result of watching too much porn, and also reading these disgusting ass romance novels. With that said, this is actually going to be quite explicit. In this video, I'm going to get quite detailed. I'm going to get quite explicit. So viewer discretion is advised. I definitely do not recommend for young children to be watching these videos, because this is actually going to be quite graphic. This video will actually be quite detailed and quite graphic. And in case you don't know who I am, my name is Amjad Moshawamala. I help young Muslim men quit their habit of watching porn and masturbating to it, without actually needing to fight those urges that are leading them up to that habit, but by actually using those urges and Islamic tactics to kill the addiction itself and to ascend as men. Let's get into the video. What happens to women as a result of watching too much porn, and why women should not just jump into marriage when they're still addicted to porn, when they are still watching porn. The first reason is, similar to what happens to men when they watch porn, they're going to have weird and false expectations of what sex actually is, of what intimacy actually is. What they see these men doing in porn, they're going to expect their future husband to replicate that, because that's their first experience of sex. That is what they know sex to be, what they see in porn. The other problem is, they're going to expect their husbands to do these weird things to them. All these weird things that men do to women in pornography, that these porn prostitutes do with these women prostitutes in pornography. They're going to want their husbands to do such things. Yeah, this actually happens. This actually happens. Women actually want their men to do these crazy things that they see on porn. And even men, when they're addicted to porn, when they continuously watch porn, they actually get enticed by such weird and sexual images, and they want to do these things to their wives as well. Actually, it actually reminds me of a documentary I watched, of this porn documentary that I watched one time, where they were narrating a story of a man who he had a girlfriend. He was with his girlfriend. They ended up having sex. But the problem is, this man used to regularly watch porn. He was borderline. He was literally a porn addict, watching porn all the time. And one time he goes to his girlfriend and he explains this scene that he saw in pornography, where he watched this porn prostitute he watched this male actor in porn punch the one who was intimate with this woman in the face, and her nose was just bleeding out. It was just bleeding out. I told you I was going to be graphic. Her nose was just bleeding out, and then he proceeds to ejaculate on her. He ejaculates on her face while she's bleeding, and he explains this scene to a woman, and he said he wants to do that to her. This guy who watched the scene, he explained this scene to his girlfriend, and he says he wants to do it to her. He said, it looked like an ice cream sundae to me, and I want to do this thing to you as well. And of course, like any logical woman, she actually got freaked out. She actually got disgusted, and she was saying, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And he was saying, oh no, don't worry. It will be unexpected. You won't even see it coming. I'll just do it on you. And that eventually led to her breaking up with this boyfriend of hers. And women are the same. They're going to be seeing scenes like this and get enticed to it. They're going to be enticed to such things, and then they want their husbands to do such things to them as well. That is how you know you're deep into porn addiction. When you actually want these crazy and disgusting things to be acted out in reality, in real life. That is one similarity. But where it's different from women is, you could argue that pornography addiction and masturbation addiction is far worse for women than it is for men. And before these crazy feminists jump on me and saying, no, this is misogyny, but shut up, this is not even about misogyny. This is just fact. This is just This is just biological. This is just scientific. Scientifically, it is actually worse for women to be addicted to porn than it is for men. You see, when a man is addicted to porn, he feels his side effects quickly, instantly, immediately. What side effects? Erectile dysfunction. Not actually being, when he sees real women, he's not actually even turned on by real women. He's used to being turned on by women on a screen. On top of that, his erections are not even that hard. His erections are just pathetic and weak. They're not even good enough to be called erections. It's just, their penis is just something that's kind of in the middle. It's not really erect and it's not really soft either. It's just something floppy in the middle. Not even a strong erection. Even when they're deep into the porn addiction, even if they get the scene that they want to see, their erections won't even be that strong. They'll feel that side effect quickly, immediately. They'll actually know that there's a problem here. Okay, they'll actually really recognize there's something wrong here. I'm not getting turned on by real women, and my erections are weak as hell. So men actually know that they have a problem here. But for women, it's not exactly the same. It's not as though their clitorises don't get harder or as in they don't get wet when they see these scenes. Their bodies, their private parts still sort of react the same way. But it's for these hardcore scenes, these crazy romance novels that they read, and these hardcore porn scenes. They don't really have such a thing as erectile dysfunction or whatever. So the problem is when they get intimate with their husbands in the future, even though their husband might be good in bed, even though their husbands might be doing the right thing, they don't even get turned on. Because they're used to what they see on pornography. They're used to what they read in these romance novels, and they want their husband to replicate the similar thing. They want their husband to replicate something similar. They're expecting something similar from their husband, but it cannot happen because it's completely fiction. It's fiction, it's fake, and it will never be in real life. On top of that, like the men, she's used to what she sees on a screen. She's used to this. She's used to sex of seeing sex on a screen and romance novels, not in real life. She's not used to the 3D image of a man, the actual 3D, the actual feeling of a man, the actual sensations of a real man. She's not used to that. She's used to what she sees on a screen. And that leads to her not even being sexually satisfied by a man. A man could actually be doing everything right to the woman. But she's used to sexually satisfying herself in these weird ways. Especially when you add dildos and vibrators into the mix. Because not sure if you know, but men's penises do not vibrate. But she's used to stimulating herself with these vibrators while watching porn and while reading romance novels. So when her husband is trying to please her, when her husband pleases her, she's not really going to feel anything. It's not really going to do anything for her. That is what a woman sets herself up for when she's a porn addict, when she becomes addicted to porn. Sometimes women, when they're intimate with their husbands, they actually say, "Oh, you're not good enough." They actually think you're the husband. Yeah, he's not good enough in bed. He's good. He's a 3-minute man. He's a 5-minute man. Even though he's actually ridiculous. 5-minute man, 7-minute man. Even though that is actually a realistic time. Like literally, this is actually scientific. Like, as in, usually sexual encounters between man and woman, generally speaking, they last around 7 minutes. Like actual intimacy, when the penetration happens, usually that lasts around 5 to 7 minutes. But the woman, because she's used to vibrating herself and watching porn for hours and hours and hours on end, she's gonna expect that of her husband as well. So what is the solution? The solution is for women to actually quit porn as well. Same sort of tactics. You need to be constantly relying upon Allah for help. You need to ask Allah to rid yourself of this addiction, to get this addiction away from you. Constantly make dua to Allah. Make dua to Allah in key moments, in key times, before Fajr prayer, while you're in sujood, between adhan times, while it rains. There are key moments where Allah hears du'as and where Allah answers du'as. Allah can answer du'as at any time, but these times that I mentioned, they are the best times to actually make du'a. And you're probably wondering, so why did I actually make this video? Why did I go out of my way to make videos which is about teaching women how to quit porn and masturbation? Why am I making a video about teaching the side effects of porn and masturbation to women? Because, frankly speaking, videos about teaching women to quit pornography, they're not even out there. They're not even there that much. And you might be thinking, yeah, but women don't get addicted to porn. You are so naive. If you think that women in this day and age are not addicted to porn, if you think women in this day and age are not masturbating, you are naive. And if you think that women are not sexual and don't want to have sex, you are so naive. Trust me. I used to go to school and colleges with these women. In my school and in my colleges, women were masturbating to porn. Women were watching porn. Women were masturbating. Women were reading romance novels. Women are actually addicted to porn, and it's in the Ummah as well. In the Muslim Ummah, women watch porn as well. There are women who are addicted to porn and masturbation as well. So let's get this image out of our head that, oh yeah, women are just these sexless beings. They don't want to have sex and they don't have these urges. This is the biggest, I swear, this is the biggest misconception ever. This is one of the biggest lies that have been told to us, that women don't want to have sex. Women are not sexual creatures. Women are just sexless. They don't care about sex that much. No, women want to have sex. Women are horny and women want to have sex as well, just like men do. Yeah, generally speaking, men want it more, and men are generally speaking, yeah, more hornier than women. But women want to do it as well. And especially if it's for a man who satisfies her hypergamy. A man who she actually views as, she actually has a highly view of, who she actually thinks is great. If it's for such a man as well, she will especially be horny for such a man who she views as something great, who she views as something that is worthy of being lusted over. She's especially horny for these kind of men. So let's get this image out of our heads that women don't actually have these sexual urges. And let's also not be blinded to the fact that women in the Ummah are addicted to porn as well. This issue affects women as well. And the problem is there's not even that many videos out there. There's not that many videos about women teaching other women how to quit porn and masturbation. Because there's many NoFap YouTubers out there. Yeah, I criticized NoFap in the past because of how inaccurate it is. But at least there's videos out there. At least there's actually an effort effort put into teaching men how to quit porn and masturbation. But for women, I searched these videos and there's nothing there. Nobody actually teaches women how to quit porn and masturbation. It is hardly mentioned. The only one who I can actually think of who actually brings up women masturbating is probably Gabriel Al-Romani. He's really the only one I can think of, but there's nobody else. And even then, he's not really that detailed about it. He doesn't actually teach women what to do when they're addicted to porn and masturbation. So for any sisters watching this, I encourage you to teach women how to quit porn and masturbation, because this issue affects women as well. This disgusting porn and masturbation, this has infiltrated the Ummah as well. It has infiltrated women as well. Women in the Ummah as well. And I even have a full-on course that will teach you how to quit porn and masturbation for good. You will get to the point where even when you see sexual images, you won't even get enticed. You will get to the point where it will be as if porn never even existed in your life. Honestly, the things I'm actually telling you, the things I teach in this course, and if you actually implement them right, you will actually get to the point where you will actually feel like you've never even watched porn ever in your life. You will get to the point where porn never even existed in your life. You can actually get to the point. You can get to that point.